T-minus 17 seconds and count. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, remaining start, 2, 1, boost ignition, and liftoff.
There we go. Can you hear me? Let me check it. I think you can hear me loud and clear. So we got this little show going. The first day after, oops, there we had a little frog. The first day after we saw Bitcoin hit its all-time high, and then we are seeing it retrace again. Whew. A lot of people might be asking themselves, what's going on? What's going on? Should we sell now? Was that it? I mean, if you look at this like that, I still like to look that we truly did hit the new all-time high right after we ended the stream, right? Now, of course, if we're going to look at it, let's look at it, the 4 hourly, then it looks a little sad. It looks a little sad, right? But all I would like to point out for those of you who are new, and that is that if we go in here and look at the weekly behind me, it's not, very long time ago that we were down, at 28, 30,000, right? If we go back here to the beginning of the year, we were at around 40,000. Let's say, you remember this was actually, it felt like it was going from December 23 all the way to last week of January. And we were just around the 41,000 and it was boring. So we went up, had a new all-time high, reached almost 70. And if we're going to even retrace back to 50, a lot of pigeons, a lot of sheep, they're going to say, oh my God, I thought this was going to go up. What's happening? 2 weeks ago, we could not even imagine that we would, if we're going to establish a new sideways level of resistance and support at 50, or maybe even at 60, who knows? So overall, I still think that we should be happy as Larry. And in fact, a bit of pullback, a bit of retracement is only good for us. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Then remember, I think it's important that we are going to monitor the psychology of where we are in terms of the market. I mean, we're just basically at the beginning where we're going to be welcoming all the sheep and all the pigeons from all angles of the world. And we shouldn't call them sheep or pigeons. We should welcome them with open arms, because in the end of the day, we are front running them. I will, as always, try to do it quick, but a little hangover after all that Bahama Mamas from yesterday, but what a day it was. Anyway, let's start, and I think it goes a little something like this. As always, I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe, and all them goodies, so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos. So that you can protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I want to ask you, should I stop with this intro? I mean, does it really make sense, or is it just too long? Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Anyway, I am number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's young, he's handsome, he's a prophet, he's a poet. They know it. I must be the greatest. I told the world.
So let's go in here, and just for the fun of it, we're looking here at the not for the fun of it. It's funny. It is funny. Ha ha ha. Let me make myself a little smaller, and then we are looking at Bitcoin, whereas we can see down 6.8%. We're seeing Solana down 6.7%, and then we are seeing Ethereum only down 3%, and then we're seeing DOT down 8%. But what we, as always, can take out of this, and we are currently looking at the 1 hour chart. And this is where you're really seeing they are following each other like, I don't know, like twins, triplets, quadruplets, right? And this is where I'm saying, this is where there's some level of market manipulation, right? Because we all know that this, whoever is controlling it is basically selling across the board. But But that's just how that is. We go in and we look at I mean, I still like this chart. I mean, wow, right? It was still historical. And if we look how we have gone up, and remember, we all know you come to this channel here because of the technical analytic skills that I bring to all of you. And we always look at the weekly with the 7-day moving average supported in purple. And that has been a very good indicator. Now, say we can all debate and say it's, you know, this is nonsense and so on, but it's a good indicator. And we are still way above the 7-day moving average. So I even said, I think, I don't know if I said it 3 days ago or thought it, I mean, yeah, as long as we could even pull back to 52, 51, and I don't see anything wrong with this uptrend. In fact, as I said in the beginning, this only opens up huge opportunities for entering the market at lower prices. Let's look at ETH. And ETH also retraced back a little bit today. We saw not as much, but I still think it's only a matter of time until we're gonna break through the previous all-time high. And then I just want to point out that because I found this article here on Cointelegraph, and I thought I might as well just comment on it very briefly, because I actually think that I like Cointelegraph, but it's almost the way that they're writing. They bring the news fast, but the views are not always. I mean, they're, you know, some hillbillies that don't really know shit about shit. Anyway, what is good, of course, is that they're optimistic. But of course, Cointelegraph is a pro-crypto website. 3 reasons why Ethereum price could hit 4K in the short term. So obviously, I would think they would talk about the approval of the ETF. And why talk about 4,000? Well, then we would go in and we would see what is the previous all-time high. Well, that's 4,800. So, I mean, what? 4,000? I mean, how do they even get to 4,000? Either we break through the previous all-time high like Bitcoin did, and that is what I believe we're going to do, or it's like a nonsense, what they think. Anyway, let's just go into the three reasons what they think. So this is the first one. Reducing supply on exchanges. One factor supporting Ether's upside is reducing supply on exchanges. Okay, yeah, well, that sounds good. Yeah. Data from Glassnode shows. I'm not saying that it's not relevant, but is it really why? Let's see. The second reason, what are they? Then Ethereum staking numbers rise. Also contributing to the decreasing ETH tokens available for trade is the increasing amount of Ether staked on the Beacon chain. According from the data, June analytics, over 31 million ETH, worth 119 billion at current rates, are now being staked. Now, that is true. It is true. We know that also that Ethereum, by the nature, is going to be not an inflationary coin, but actually deflationary. And of course, if there's less supply, then that, and more demand and all this, then probably that is also good. But this is it's very abstract, that these are the 2 reasons why we're going to break through the 4,000 in the next short term. What is the last one? I thought this was actually Ethereum's open interest nears the 2021 high. Now, this is important because now we're talking about getting new investors in. Increased demand for leveraged resulted in a surge in ETH futures open interest, which sat around 11 billion, edging closer. Anyway, so you can see this is like an article that you can, it's true, relevant, but not. Is it really? Is it really? No, I believe that it's only a matter of time until we're gonna go in here and we're gonna be able to see this Ethereum ETF tracker, and we're not gonna see futures, but we're actually gonna see spot. Where are they here? There we go. And we're going to see that they are not pending, but that they look exactly like they do on the Bitcoin tracker, where we see, let's go in here, spot. And we can see that the total market cap has increased enormously since they launched. It's not even a long time ago, right? So, before we go into the chat, let's have a quick look at the overall. What are we seeing? I was looking Bitcoin up 6%, and I thought, no, it's supposed to be down. But isn't it supposed to be down? What is this here? Maybe in 24 hours? We just needed to update it. Nevertheless, so we got Bitcoin down 6%, we got Ethereum down 3%, Binance 6%, Solana 7%, XRP, which I actually think is a shitcoin, Cardano 12%, Dogecoin 16%. Remember the meme coins, right? The meme coins. They were really, pumping up yesterday. And if we look on the 7-day, I wanted the 7-day moving average, on the 7-day returns. Wow, look at that Shiba Inu, 200%, and has now made it into the top 10 of the cryptocurrencies with the highest value. And so now in the top 10, we actually got Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, 2 meme coins. Who knows? Is Spunk gonna go there soon too? Who knows? Avalanche down 9%, Polkadot down 8%, 8% to Chainlink, 11% to Polygon, Bitcoin Cash down 15%. And then we got Uniswap going a little bit against the trend. I like when we see things going against the trend. And I would like to remind everybody here, I am a firm believer that Uniswap is completely underrated. Completely underrated. Now remember, everything I say and do, as Shahid always says, should not be considered financial advice because, I don't know shit about crypto and I own nothing. But I'm pretty happy. Let's see, Uniswap. Yeah, okay, Uniswap. Now, I always like to go into this page called CRYPTOCURRENCIES. And there we can see that Uniswap is still 71% down, which, however, would only generate you 252% should it reach its previous all-time high. There's more potential there with the Bitcoin Cash. ICP always a lot of potential. Anyway, so just gonna... Let's see here. So what do we have? Uniswap, Filecoin down 13%. Optimism. I wouldn't say... I don't think it's a mistake to... This is important what I'm gonna say now. So let's just listen to what I got to say, right? Otherwise, if you don't listen, the Houthis are coming. Yep. No, I think we're gonna see a lot of, obviously we're gonna see the upgrade from Ethereum, right? It's gonna be made safer, it's gonna be made easier to stake and unstake. But I think that the real gains in Ethereum, if we are looking at the 10x, the 100x, the 1000x, is probably not going to be made on the base layers anymore, right? So I think we need to look at the layer 2s. And this is also why we participated in the initial offering there of Optimism. It was quite uneventful, but it's been profitable. And I really do believe Optimism, Arbitrum, and then you know that I love Chico, right? Chico Crypto, and he just recently, I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago, his now new number 2 layer 2 pick is Cartesi, and we also own some Cartesi, right? So I just wanted to point that out and say Cartesi, in fact, Chico said that he is gonna go heavy in, and Chico, he's a man that he has a very good track record. Also some shit sometimes, but mainly when he talks about fundamental coins and opportunities, he's spot on. He's number 1. So if we look at the Cartesi chart, we can see obviously what was the all-time high. The all-time high was at $1.7, and it is now trading at 35 cents on the dollar. Now, I don't think anyway, you remember I'm not the most technical gifted individual, and when it really comes to these technical aspects of things, what Cartesi really do, it's a layer 2, and they do something with Linux, and I'm sorry, but we have been invested in Cartesi for a long time. We invested back in 20 or maybe in 19, we sold, and we have reinvested again. And I think there's lots of good things. Now we're looking at the weekly here. So of course we have seen this huge increase, but if we're going to look at the daily, it's been pulling back a little. But I believe this is a continuation that is it's only a matter of time until we're going to see a hockey stick, right? But not to the left, but to the right. So not financial advice, but I would take that into consideration. What else do we have here? H-bar, gas bar. And then I wanted to point one more thing out. I only see all this as retracements, and I do think that with Bitcoin we're gonna go a little bit further back. So I think there's gonna be some good opportunities to enter. I'm happy to see this actually, that we are going a little bit back. I wanted to say that I am going to increase my position, increase Betty's position, because I own nothing, as you know, into Crossed Network. Let me just get that here. You probably know Crossed Network, right? That is a decentralized storage provider on, it's actually a polka dot, a beautiful dot, and CSM. So we got Crossed Shadow, which is on Kusama. It was actually very much up today. I mean, look at this today. This was quite, it was at one point it was up 40%. Up 40%. But now it has retraced a little bit. Anyway, I think Crossed Shadow, which is on Kusama, I would absolutely, we're going to add both Crossed Shadow and Crossed Network. I mean, it has a market cap of 1 million. Of 1 million. Okay, Crossed Network is a little bit different, yeah. CRU. Because this is the, this polka dot. And you can go in there. I mean, it was actually not really, you can see it's also been down, but this has a bit of has a market cap of 26 million. Decentralized storage is going to be huge. So why don't we just, for the fun of it, go in and go to Crossed Network, to the website, if we are allowed here. And then you yourself, I mean, this is, probably, I don't know if you've been there or not, because there's so many things to go through. So you go in here and then you go into the block. And then even it's a little bit of an older announcement. But look, yeah, medium and hallelujah here, everything goes up. This is the Crossed ecosystem. I mean, they're already massive. These are the ones that they're already working with. I mean, I think you should just go over this yourself. I think we're gonna be so happy with the dots, and especially also this decentralized infrastructure and a protocol that still has such a low market cap and is so well positioned. So that's all I want to say about that. Maybe we should, anyway. So let's go and see if anybody's in the chat before we move on to some news that Betty has prepared for everybody that we need to listen and need to go through. Let me just find it here. Sorry guys, there we go, finally. So that's what I think about Crossed Network and Katesi. So who is here today? Let me see. Who is here? All 20 lives. We got 22 viewers. It is amazing. Today I was looking, there's some other live streamers talking about cryptocurrency, and they've been around 1 or 2 years, and they got 7,000 subscribers, but somehow they have a few hundred people watching, and we got 22, but we got 22 solid lines. How are you doing? Alan Mashvinsky. You got that from what was it there? That other guy who was, I forgot the name of the platform that was going down. Mashinsky. And then we got Vax, my good friend Frank. Merky Magdala. Pierre Paolo Giro. You still didn't let us know where you've been. Welcome back. The white shirt means business. Yeah, well, Betty says I don't look so good in it, but yeah, I think it kind of looks cool. So Alexander Boyd, hello, a blessing to all of you. Blessing. Crypto Dachshund, stay away from leverage, and you'll do that is probably, I mean, I would probably spend 5 minutes talking about how this can be bad for you, and I would present you with some charts and some figures and some numbers. But he's completely right. Crypto Dachshund, stay away from leverage. I do run a little leveraged, I wouldn't say portfolio, and Betty, she knows about it, because all I do on my leveraged account, and it's really small amounts, but I just do it so I kind of, it's kind of like instead of watching TikTok, that's what I do. And I always lose. And it was funny when we were watching Bitcoin yesterday. On that one position, we had $270 plus. And I said to Betty, I said, I probably should take those $270 because probably tomorrow we're going to wake up, we're going to have lost it all. And we lost it all. So stay away from leverage. It's really the best. Long term, we can make so much money. Crypto Charlie, how are you doing? Good to see you. And Mahia, my dear, you're the best. You're number one. I am no one. You're very spring smiley faces. You guys make me smile. Okay, we gotta move on to some news. Yeah, but Betty made all those news and they're all so serious. But we will have to go through them. Remember, I believe that it's important that we understand the psychology of the market. And when I say about market, it's about societies. And nowhere are we going to be able to experience the market psychology in play as we are going to see with the future of cryptocurrencies. And as you all know, let's go over here and look at this presentation that we made. I really should get myself quicker. Anyway, always quick. We have these, let me just go in here, but we've been talking about the psychology of a market cycle, right? And we have been also, we've been talking so much about Wyckoff, which was completely right, but we were talking more about, how we were going to weather the downtrend, the bear market. And when we're going to see the turnaround. And also when we look at the psychology, if you look, we were talking about it briefly yesterday, but you can see on the left side, this is when it goes up. And then, of course, there's much more focus on, how people are feeling when we're going down. But we need now, thank God, we are in this lovely, lovely situation that we are going to focus on where we are in the cycle from, the psychological aspect of it. Where are we? Now, of course, I could look at this cheat sheet every day, and we will probably, but let's go in and take some real life examples on what I kind of found in the news today. What we all find. First of all, remember, we are waiting for big money to come in. Let it be from institutions, let it be from retail, right? Where are we now? Hope a recovery is possible. Optimism, this rally is real. I think we are, obviously, this rally is real. So there's lots. How do we get new investors in? Obviously, this was triggered by institutional, by BlackRock, right? Lots of partnerships have been made. How are we going to get the masses in? Well, for that, obviously, we need the media. So it's important to follow what mainstream media is writing. Now we go in, for example, and it's funny here in 3 or 4 years ago, you will not find all crypto on all these big mainstream media platforms. Financial Times, you go in there and on the landing page, right there, we got Bitcoin, right? Yeah, then we can pay something and all this. We don't even need to read that. Anyway, it's good enough. Bitcoin price passes 69,000 to set a brief new record. Wow, that sounds good, right? People usually don't even go through it. So let's finish with the Financial Times. CNBC, right there on the landing page. Look at this. Bitcoin rises to record above 69,000, then quickly tumbles. Yeah, but the fact that it is being informed right, left, up, down to everybody, new record, right? And even CNBC Crypto World, it was not around a few years ago. So when you're going to take these here, Bitcoin hit new all-time high for the first time in more than 2 years. Wow. Bitcoin notched its previous record, very good. And then with Bitcoin on a hot streak, up 45% this year already. Investors have warned about a cooling as unrealized profit margins approach extreme levels. So mainstream media is really optimistic, right? They're only talking about a cooling. And remember, they are doing the front cheering for us. And then here what drove Bitcoin's climb. Most people, they don't even go into it. But I'm sure that if we're going to go down, they will talk about BlackRock, right? Let's see here. It's about a year because and then they go in and blah blah blah, and okay, we don't. Yeah, and then of course the catalyst driving the surge in the cryptocurrency include the US spot Bitcoin ETFs that started trading earlier this year. Very good. So they are actually also saying that everybody should feel safe and good about Bitcoin. You go in. Let's go over across the sea. We go to BBC on their landing page. Bitcoin price briefly topped 69,000 for new all-time high. Now, in every country, there's usually the more conservative media outlets, like let's say CNBC, Financial Times, and then I don't know what those cheap things are called in the US. But for example, I know in the UK it's the Sun. I know in Denmark, where I'm Danish, we got something called BT and so on. So these boulevard magazines have not yet really, at least when I went over it, really been promoting or talking about Bitcoin. So that makes us also understand that the pigeons, the taxi drivers, the milk ladies are still not being informed. But BBC, which is for more sophisticated, very much. I mean, look at that picture there. Look at that picture. Beauty, beauty, beauty. And they probably also write exactly the same thing like they did there at CNBC. Here you go, right? There's also. So, however, its new all-time high value has come about precisely because those establishment firms have been pouring billions of dollars into acquiring it. That has been made possible because in January 2024, US regulators reluctantly approved several spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. And this allowed giant investment firms like BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale to sell products based on the price of Bitcoin. I mean, what can we say? I mean, I'm going to do it quicker. Also in Austria, the more conservative, they're also writing about that. And it goes further and further down. Denmark didn't write about it, but Denmark is little. Yeah, so I think we got that. Bitcoin, we saw Bitcoin new all-time high. And yeah, so that was, I think that was also an important factor, right? Let me know what you thought about that. So let's go back to the news. Let's just run through them, but they're good. They're good, we gotta say. So what do we have here? What did Betty prepare for us? US lawmaker, this is actually important, right? And this is a little bit to take off the steam of the Bitcoin all-time high. Remember, we are still in the fight for freedom against no freedom. Are we gonna see the CBDC being rolled out? And there's going to be total control, or are we actually really going to get what many people who entered the cryptocurrency space believed, and that we're going to get a decentralized, trustless, open financial system? I don't believe we're going to get this trustless, open financial system. And I mean, as you know, I do not agree with the policies and the fraudulent, monetary banks and all that, but I do believe that they lead. Deep state, they're going to roll out those CBDCs and we're going to profit from it, right? So let's just get rich with them and then we talk about democracy after. So but there's still a fight. So US lawmakers fight CBDC. 5 United States senators have joined hands to fight President Joe Biden's plans to issue a digital dollar by co-signing legislation demanding a ban on central bank digital currencies. I'm not going to read more into that. What I think is going to happen is everybody knows there's this debate that the CBDC is going, there's privacy issues. So what's going to happen is the CBDC is still going to be rolled out, but they're going to make some amendments. They're not going to invade your privacy for now. So it will be done step by step, and it will be seen as a victory for the people not being invaded completely in their privacy. But that will be rolled out a few years later. So that's, God save the Queen. What do we have here? Bitcoin passed. Yeah, that was also very interesting. But we know that Bitcoin hit, past new all-time highs against all major currencies. And BlackRock, yeah, they've crossed 10 billion in assets. So that's also good. Then we got something about World Bank, but we're gonna WorldCoin. We're gonna make a video about that tomorrow. I know too little about that, but it seems like there was a bunch of fraud. But we never invested into it, right? So, and that's it. That was the news. Now we can go, and I'm gonna go eat now. I'm gonna have some Ukrainian coteletas. Let me know what you're gonna eat. Oh, guys, that's it for me. And yeah, and that's it. That's it. What is it, in 2 days? Depending where you are, 3 days. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Who's gonna win? I've been watching up on Francis Ngannou. Ooh, he's a dangerous motherfucker. And he's a sweetie pie on top of that. I'm actually gonna go for him. Let me know what you think, and maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Stay safe, stay home, and don't think, but just enjoy. Bye-bye. And I guess we're gonna find this. Here we go.
When the eagle spreads its wings, it's something to behold. It's something to behold. Nearly 9 feet from tip to tip, when it spreads its wings, it was built for high places. It was built to soar. I think you would say meters, about 3 meters. It was built to soar, to fly. It was built to withstand storms, so that when the storm comes and other birds run for shelter, the eagle runs into the storm and uses the storm to lift it up so that it can fly above the storm. You know you're an eagle when you ran into a storm that you thought was going to kill you, and instead of it killing you, it lifted you higher than you've ever been lifted before. It's a sure sign you're an eagle. Can you hear me tonight? Spread those wings and it begins to fly. It can see several miles. Even in the night, it can see its prey and its opponent. Eagles are awesome birds. The eagle knows that he ain't hooked up with no chicken, because its old chicken can't get up in the air that high. It might think the eagle is pretty cute, but it can't get up there where the eagles fly, because its body is fat and its wings are too short, and it can only flap up a little ways and fall back down again. And some of you have got a lot of eagles that are trying, you are eagles and you've got a lot of chickens that are trying to flap up there and get where you are. But God will take you to a place where you can only hook up with other eagles, and eagles are all, do you hear what I'm saying to you? So don't be frustrated when you see the chickens flapping up and falling down, because at this stage in your life, it's time for you to be synergistic with other eagles. Eagles love on another level. Eagles live on another level. Eagles think on another level. Eagles function on another level. Eagles dream on another level. Eagles build on another level. Glory to God. If you had somebody reject you, leave you, walk out the door, stop crying about it. It was just a chicken. What you need is another eagle with wings and dreams and visions and concepts and ideas, who's not jealous of you, who's not intimidated by you, who's not fighting you. You know that it's an eagle when they're not jealous of you. You know it's another eagle when they can think thoughts like you think. You know it's another eagle when they can pray for you and help you to get to the next level. It's only the chickens that are down on the ground talking about everybody. Wonder how much further you would be if you would focus on being synergistic with other eagles, rather than expending your energy trying to change chickens.